Playing a Dark Souls game for the first time for some people can be more frustrating than fun. You try to apply your knowledge from previous games, but it just doesn't seem to work. You start to get demotivated, feeling like this game isn't for you, and you eventually give up on it. Yeah, this happened to me too. On 3 separate occasions I have downloaded and deleted the game because I couldn't get past the first zone, Forest of the Fallen Giants. I know what you might be thinking. The area which some players complete in under an hour? It took me 20 hours. Yes, 20. Then the sun shone upon me. The truth is that things are difficult to do when you don't know how to do them. In this video, my goal is to explain to you what I learned during those 20 hours which allowed me to finish the whole game. I really hope you enjoy. Let's begin with some theory. Before you having to do anything in-game, for now I want to give you 2 pieces of information you should know about. The first is rolling or dodging. Rolling in the game gives you total invincibility for some duration. I found it frustrating that no one told me about this, so here I am telling you. This means that if you roll when an enemy attacks you, and it is timed well, you won't get any damage at all. Let me show you what I mean. It doesn't matter if it looks like an enemy hits you while rolling. Even if the sword touches you, you won't get damage. This is insanely powerful, and this is what we will be using in this tutorial. The second information is that all enemies have a limited number of different attacks they can perform. For common enemies they may have, let's say, 3 different attack animations, while the bosses have more. But they are finite and you can memorize them. What I want to say is that once you memorize them, you can predict what attack they will do just by looking at their starting animation. Now with these 2 pieces of knowledge, let's get to the practical part. First thing I want you to do is to spend all your souls, because in the next step you will die a lot. Next I want you to get to a bonfire that has enemies close to it. This is so that you don't have to run a lot between deaths, as we will be practicing on some enemies. Watch the clip and try to do what I'm doing. I don't want you to attack the enemy or dodge. No, just get close to an enemy and when you see them attacking, move backwards. Then wait for their attack animation to end. And if you get hit, that's okay. And if you die, just go again. I want you to get comfortable with the enemy to see that they are really repeating the same attacks over and over again. I also want you to notice that enemies have 2 states really, attacking or not attacking. If you can do this for some time without getting hit, I want you to try and dodge. Remember that all enemies have a limited attack pattern and you can predict what they will do. This makes dodging attacks easier. So just like that. If you get hit, remember that it's okay and part of the process. See, in this example this enemy either hits once or attacks 3 times with the sword. The more time you spend with an enemy, the better you will notice these things. Before we move on to the next part, I want to remind you that the enemy has 2 states, attacking and not attacking. I will show it on the screen for a little bit so you can see it. I think you get the idea. Now we can get to the part where you actually attack the enemy. A lot of people's first instinct is to attack the enemy on sight, but we can do smarter than that. I want you to only attack when you know the enemy is about to finish his last swing. And you know when his last swing is because you already know his attack pattern from the previous steps. Watch how I only attack the enemy when I know he will stop his last attack. See, I could have attacked here. Also, with time you will realize that you don't have to dodge every attack, you can just step back. And there you go, there is basically nothing more to it. I don't know how to use shields or how to do magic, but this is how I beat Dark Souls 2 including the DLCs. Everything else is just extra. I hope that I could help you a little bit, because I know the game can be scary at first. But the game was programmed for you to win, you just have to find out what it is. Before the video ends, I want to quickly recap my points. First of all, dodging makes you invincible. Use it. Then, all the enemies have a limited number of attacks. You can memorize these. You can avoid damage just by moving backwards most of the time. Some enemies and bosses hit too fast. You can only dodge these attacks. And finally, remember to hit the enemy when you know they stop their attack. Thanks for watching, and if you have already beaten any Dark Souls game, feel free to comment how you did it so we can help each other. See you soon with another video, and peace.